Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? You're all very welcome back to another episode of the Deck Chair and Yums podcast with me, Mickey Bartlett, aka Deck Chair, him, Connor Keys, aka Yums. Now, before we get into the podcast, just want to say once again, I'm on tour in February and March all around Northern Ireland. Very few tickets left for that tour. On the something of October, I'm going to be in the Millennium Forum in Derry, and on the something else of October, I'm going to be in the Waterfront.
I'm going to say
Belfast.
the 7th and the 13th.
7th and the 11th, 13th, 7th, the 7th.
October.
Of something.
It's on October.
Go on to Google, type in Mickey Bartlett Millennium Forum, it'll come up. Type in Mickey Bartlett Waterfront, it'll come up as well. Tickets to the Waterfront are flying out. There's talk of a second night, but really get stuck in, buy some tickets now. Also, Australia, I'm flying out on the 9th of April. I'm going to be in Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney and Perth. Again, type in Mickey Bartlett Melbourne, whatever, they'll come up. Comedians Box and sold out. You have any tickets to sell?
I'm out with Colin Murphy now for 3 months solid, so he's going around all in the north. So every Friday and Saturday for February, March and April.
On the road again.
We will be out somewhere, so go and check it. I think he called it Whatchamacallin.
What's a great name for a
Great
tour.
name. Go and see, check it out at Colin Murphy's tour, and you'll see all the dates there.
And on the 26th of March, him and I will be in the Frog and Bucket in Manchester. I think the tickets are on sale, but I'm not entirely sure because somebody fucked something up and it wasn't our fault. But 26th of March, that's what it looks like. Now, we have a sponsor for today's podcast. Now, you know, Connor, new year, new me, new you, new us, new they, new them, new that, new them. A lot of people are trying to get new break bad habits in the new year. I'm sure you're doing it yourselves at home, wherever you are at home. Maybe you're trying to stop drinking. Maybe you're trying to stop swearing. Maybe you're trying to get healthy. A lot of people, Connor, in the last couple of years have been vaping quite heavily.
Yes.
The Dragon bars have come out with about 60 fags worth of nicotine every day. And a lot of people are struggling to get off the nicotine replacement substitutes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, our new sponsor have a way to do it. So if you go to www.itsnotvape if you shout surprise to get your nicotine replacement today.
Oh, fuck.
Notable patrons of It's Not Vape If You Should Surprise have been Bill Cosby, Crystal 8. Sorry, I'm just reading this autocue. It doesn't say vape at all.
Oh, dear. So,
Sit on that for a week.
discount code is...
I like the cherry and the vanilla pops and the popsicle sticks.
Oh, sweet Lord.
I apologise.
I love the fact now that everybody's going, have they an autocue?
Why? I sold it really well, didn't I? That drama degree's paying for itself, boy. Telling you. 15 years later.
The vaping thing is driving me fucking bananas.
And
I'll tell you why. I have a daughter who's now vaping.
That's
right.
Aye.
Who was so fucking against smoking and so anti-me smoking, anti-fags. I've had to listen to Lon Bastard for fucking years.
Aye.
And they're now vape. And because everybody's doing it. But we also know a couple of mutual friends who have started vaping who never smoked in their life.
Yeah,
and I'm
you're
like,
now smoking to try and stop vaping.
you're now like you're taking on you're taking the thing that we use.
Nev's vaping right now and I'm joking for a smoke.
But no, Nev's doing the right thing. Nev used to smoke.
Aye.
It's the people who never smoked before are now starting the thing that we take to get off the fucking fags.
Is there an age limit on buying vapes? Is that why there's so many kids?
I think you have to be, yeah.
Well, the last time
But
I
then
tried
they're
to start
called
vaping,
elf bars, and you're like,
Aye.
that's not aimed at fucking adults. That's
they're
for
bad.
kids.
Like, because the last time I tried this, I tried to vape and I lasted about a week. And I opened it, and I've talked about it before. On the foil packaging of the wee vape bar that I bought, there's a skull and crossbones.
Aye.
When you read the back of it, it's like the stuff in this stuff, if it touches your skin, it'll burn through it like a fucking xenomorph.
But as long as it's your lungs, you're all right.
Oh man, they're bad news.
It's kind of like what they talked about back in the day when mobile phones first came out.
Yeah.
And going, we don't know the implications of these things until 20. You know,
I-
this is the same
I
with
remember-
vapes. We don't know what's actually going to be in them.
One time talking to an Australian comedian who was vaping, and someone had brought up because popcorn lung and all that sort of stuff. There started been a lot of talk about that, and it was kind of.
Don't get me wrong, popcorn lung is probably a lot better than black tar lung. but it's still it's still damaging.
Like, yeah.
It's still damaging.
But I know he said something that I thought was interesting, where he said I reckon popcorn lung and all that sort of stuff has been tobacco companies spreading bullshit to stop people vaping to get them back on the cigarettes. Either way, none of us should be breathing that fucking shit in. Whether it be cigarettes or vapes.
I've never done it, but maybe we might do it after this week. I've never done a deep dive as to who's making the money.
Aye.
Our golden rule: follow the money. Who's
If
benefiting?
it's Marlboro, you'd be like,
yeah.
you
if it's
motherfucker, you.
If it's big tobacco in America, you're going, oh, okay, this is fucking.
It's Benson or Hedges. It's one of the two of them.
It's one of the two.
I've just seen a lot of not that I go on TikTok because I don't. But I've seen a lot of TikToks of people going, do not vape, and it's cons with the now breathe through a bag. There's been people having bits of their stomach removed. It's been directly attributed to vaping. Yeah.
Holy fuck! Right. Please try and stay away from.
So they're
if you need to suck on something, suck on your thumb.
Oh, suck on something, anyways, boys. I should really make a concise effort to try and stop now. I have been thinking about getting nicotine gum, just to bait my wee cravings.
I was off cigarettes for 2 years. I lasted 2 full years, and the thing that got me off it was a fidget. So Nicotine, the company that makes the tobacco or the nicotine chewing gum and all that, came up with it's basically like a fidget toy.
Aye.
Because my thing is definitely psychological. When I was driving or whatever, it was always something to do with your hands. And I have to say, it was fucking.
Driving's the time when I smoke when I'm driving. It's usually at night when I'm tired driving home, and smoking a cigarette gives me
a wee burst
to stay awake.
Plus, you have to open the window, let the smoke out, so the cold air.
And I think it might just be the cold air, because I found myself going, I'm only awake for as long as I'm smoking this, and as soon as I put it out, I'm like. Speaking of smoking, I managed to procure a cylindrical white paper container containing the devil's lettuce.
Oh no!
Yeah, yes. That chronic. From an undisclosed source. Last week, and I smoked half of that cylindrical paper container smoke by myself last week.
Yes.
Slept like a baby. Ate like a rhino. And obviously, because I'm supposed to be in training camp, you know what I mean, no drinking. And I've thought one night a week I'm going to I'll have a wee smoke. Yeah. So I smoked half of that one.
Like the boys, Nate Diaz and all them boys.
Like Diaz and all them boys. And last night I came home went into the pavilion, tried some new stuff, and I came home and I thought, fuck it, I'll smoke the other half of that wee thing. Now, but as I was driving home, I thought, I'll stop off and get the ingredients for toasties.
Oh, I love it. You see, that's what I like to call preparation, my friend.
Aye.
Now, let's talk about toasties. What are we talking here?
3 of them. Chicken, cheese, Nando sauce. 3 of them. And I wasn't even hungry. This is what gets me about weed.
It's unreal.
It definitely unleashes an autism in me. Same as being hungover. Because I was eating... I had 2 of them back to back, right? I made a toastie, and it hadn't even fucking properly kicked in. I wouldn't even say I was stoned at this point.
Right.
Now, I did smoke that second half of a joint like a cigarette. I was like... Right?
And I would nearly guess that the person you procured it from would normally have pretty strong stuff, so it wouldn't have been a weak version to be taken.
Absolutely was not. I tell you what, it made news bloopers very funny. Do you know the old video of the girl doing the weather and she pokes live on camera? Fuck me, I laughed. And I've seen it 300 times.
There's nothing I laugh more at newscaster than the one where the fish hits her in the face.
That's another belter.
Fucking belter.
Or the one where, do you know the one where she's in, does a goat knock her over? And she goes, ah! Or somebody slips, they're making wine, they're tramping on grapes.
Right.
And they fall and you see her head her stomach off the side of the big bowl she's standing in. And you hear the wind leave her body.
So that would have, so that.
But when I noticed, I would eat a toastie. Back to back
then, so you had 2, so it was all right.
Here's what I figured out. I had a toastie, right? And I went, it tasted phenomenal. Like I was going, fuck me, that's lovely. And I definitely was swallowing it. And then I would swallow it and I would go, I can't feel anything below my chest. Because I should be able to feel that land in my stomach. And I cannot. So then I had another one to double check what the process was. Then I found a half a bag of, I'll be quite honest with you, the stale salt and vinegar kettle chips. Rattle them. Then I had 2 white chocolate covered Oreos. And a tin of Coke. And then I went in that coma on the sofa.
Aye.
And woke up like, you need to go to bed. I was like, but I'm so comfy here. And then I got up and I went, oh, there's a wee bit left in that. And I just hoofed the last couple of wee drags. And fuck the night's sleep I've had now.
Oh no, that is the one thing that you'll sleep very, very
It's
well.
f-
From what I hear.
From what I've heard. Because I've been taking CBD all again the night before I go to bed.
Right.
Fuck me, I'm sleeping like a baby.
It's good stuff now.
Absolutely.
Like I'd weigh about 11 stone if it wasn't for weed.
It's the first thing I did this morning. I weighed myself as soon as I got up this morning. But please don't tell me I put on any weight. I've actually lost.
Give me some happening. Yeah, it's yeah, and it's a weird psychological thing with the food because
it's not hunger.
Like you say, it's not hunger. No, it's just something. But I do understand.
I do feel like things taste a lot better when I'm stoned.
Yeah, and they do give it to people who, especially people who are going through cancer treatment and stuff like that, who's lost their appetite. Mm-hmm. It boosts their appetite. It gives them the munchies ultimately. That's what they give it. Yeah, so there are medicinal purposes.
It's a great thing to have now.
It is now, and it's. Do you find a hangover? Like
depends now.
There's tiredness the next day.
Yeah. There's been
but
times,
nothing compared to the
feeling
like of drink.
There's been times I think where I've had. It's depending on what I've ate when I've been stoned.
Oh, well, that will do.
So if I've eaten like fucking loads of white bread or something, I wake up going, fuck, I feel like shit because I'm not supposed to eat this stuff anyway. Yeah. Last night was gluten-free bread and no wheat toasties. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right. Well prepared, but
so I thought I had
but it is one of those things then where it's so it can be so hard on your system, the excess food.
Aye.
But the actual weed hasn't done any damage. You know what I mean? And maybe a bit of tiredness. You know, the
absolutely
lethargy, or is it lethargy?
Lethargic lethargy.
Yeah, lethargy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a bit of that sort of thing, and you're constantly maybe a bit tired. But compared to what I used to suffer with actual hangovers, where I am like I want to, like, no joke, I like to the point where I'm like I want to die. Dying will be better than this.
I tend to just get very giddy and horny.
With a hangover?
Yeah.
Horny?
Not horny, needy.
No,
but I've been hungover. I've been hungover and wrong a wanker without getting hard. I've done that before.
I get needy to the point
just
where
made me really sick.
I get needy as in I need you to fuck off and leave me alone.
I get like that too. Like
that's the only need I need. Needy. What? Yeah.
I do find that when I'm really, really hungover, I'm like, I need a wee sleep, but I can't do it in bed. I get really illogical. I'm like, no, I need to sleep on this sofa that isn't comfortable.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, it is something. I mean, we try to explain weed.
I'll
try to give it, you know, rather than
on Saturday night. I was in
the
Edinburgh stand in Edinburgh, and wasn't drinking. I'll tell you, I had a couple of drinks, but I wasn't drinking.
Wasn't on the rep.
I had like 2 whiskey and cokes.
Oh, right, okay.
And
so you were just like a wee sip.
Just wee sippies.
Wee sip.
And everybody went home. I had to get up early to get a flight and stuff like that. So I was like, thank fuck nobody's drinking. That's great. And I still had the munchies. I had the weird kind of post-gig, I'm bored.
Yes.
And I went and got a pizza and chips. We have pizza and chips out of the wee chippy in Edinburgh. Lovely chips. But I woke up on Sunday morning like, fuck, I feel like shit. Because I'm not supposed to eat gluten.
Yes.
So I just wanted to tell you I got stoned last night. Because I'm a badass.
You are a
smoking
badass.
that chronic, yo.
Get some endo in this motherfucker.
Some of that sticky yicky.
Ooh wee. Put it in the air.
I always thought he said put it in your ass. Put it in your ass. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it, sir.
I haven't had proper sticky icky stuff in a fucking while, actually.
What is the sticky icky? Is that brown?
No. So if you were buying weed, if you're at Snoop's level and you're buying that good Cali fucking shit, you'll find the resin is so heavy that when you're taking the buds apart, they're sticking to your finger. Like it's like you're for me, I'm getting a fucking erection now thinking about it. But it gets so your grinder couldn't even grind it properly; it'll all stick to it, and you're like, oh yes. I think it's the terpenes, you know, the crystals that you ever see. If you ever go to Amsterdam and you trichomes, maybe they're called. If you ever go to Amsterdam and you'll see like a
Deddies.
Yes, you'll see Deddies. You ever go to Amsterdam and see a microscope at the bud tenders station?
Yes.
Have you ever seen them? No. So there'll be a microscope there, right?
Aye.
So you can put the bud underneath and take a look at the trichomes and see how good and how strong they are and all that sort of crap. Yeah. I know anybody that's amateur will just go to Amsterdam and just buy weed, but there is a reason for the microscope sitting there. Because you're stone going, why is that there?
Do you know what I did notice last night? I was your senses get heightened in a weird way.
Yeah.
So I had a wee giggle fit where I was lying on the sofa, I was watching TV.
See, I missed that.
Right?
I missed the
And
giggles.
I had a toasty on my chest and the TV on. And I had a Yankee candle burning because it didn't take the smell of the weed out of the house. Right? And as I'm sitting there, sorry, the weed out of the back door, and smoking my house. As I'm sitting there watching TV with the Yankee candle burning, I'm like, I can hear that fucking flame. So I'm watching TV and all I can hear is to the point where I kept going, is that caught on? All right.
It's amazing where the mind wanders to, like,
right.
and the thoughts that enter.
And I realised it was the flicker of the flame on the ceiling was making my brain go, I know what that sounds like. Here, do you want me to play the backing track for you? And I'm like, oh, I'm all right.
For half a joint. I'd love to be back at that stage. Fuck, what a cheap fucking...
As a wise man once said, never do drugs, so that when you do them, they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. I missed that stage. I missed that sort of giggle stage. And the last time I had the giggles was the Agony Air one that we did where we took edibles.
Aye.
Because any long-term smokers will know this. The giggles leave you after a year or two. You probably don't have anymore.
Right.
And the only time I'll get them now is when I'm with somebody who's new to smoking,
and they get it.
Yeah. And I fucking love. There's very few people I know in my life that hasn't smoked. So whenever I'm with somebody that does, like at night at the Agony Air, it's like, oh fuck, here I can feel it.
Have I ever told you about the time that myself and it was me and Ryan Cullen. We were in a comedian's house. We were staying over. The comedian wasn't there, and we had THC cough syrup.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
So you take a teaspoonful of this stuff, and within not too long, you're in the sofa.
Yeah.
Like one of them trees in Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm part of this now. And we were watching Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave Now, right?
Right.
And I've talked about this sketch before. It's a sketch where it's two guys trying to get a country music song made. Mm-hmm. And one guy's a very good singer and a good musician. The other guy's the sort of silly guy, and he's singing a song about an underground civilization that used bones as money, right? And he's going, the bones are their money, and that money are their bones. It gets really, really crazy, right? And at the end of the sketch, the fall guy goes, so what do you think of our song? And the producer in the booth goes, oh, I like Billy's song. And the guy goes, Billy isn't me or Billy isn't him. And the producer goes, your name's Billy too? And he goes, no, that's why I'm so fucking confused, right? Me and Ryan Cullen fucking laughed. And do you know when you're doing that, like, right? Your limbs, you're not controlling your limbs anymore, right? Yeah. We eventually got past the laugh, and then Cullen goes to me, do you know there was a party in here one night, and somebody hid a bag of MDMA in one of them DVDs because they were fucked up and paranoid? And I was like, well, we're going to have to look for it, aren't we? And the two of us, it must have been 500 DVDs. We're going, nope. Nope. Texting the fellow who owned the house being like, what DVD do you think it was? Do you remember how high up was your hand? Nope.
Did you ever?
No, wasn't one. To the point where the next day Ryan left before me, and I was like, we're bound to miss one. And I kept checking.
Fucking MDMA hunter.
Found nothing, man. Found nothing. Going through DVDs like I worked in CEX. I've taken the disc. One of us under the disc.
Oh fuck! That'd be deadly. Yeah, it's things like that that when you're at my stage of it, them things are long gone.
See, that's why almost being an alcoholic's arguably better than being a weed smoker, because the more of an alcoholic you become, the less you have to drink to get pissed.
Aye, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Opposite with the weed, yeah. The tolerance level gets.
Because I find myself getting like, I'm definitely borderline alcohol. Not in the sense of what you think an alcoholic is, like, oh, fucking need it, but I would say borderline physically addicted to it. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I would have classed myself. I definitely would have said I'm an alcoholic in that sense that I can only drink to get drunk.
Aye,
I can't drink just to have a drink.
Aye, oh fuck that. Why'd you do that?
Exactly. I'd rather have a Coke.
Aye.
A Diet Coke or something like that. I'd just be happy enough with that in the pub. But if you see me with a pint, that means there's more coming. There's no 1 pint or 2 pints.
I suppose I could probably have a whiskey because I like the taste of it and I like the process of
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
could you leave it at that then? You'd be all right with that?
Yeah. But if it's beers or wine, if it's like, I can't have a glass of wine because I go, well, that bottle's going to get through it, so I might as well drink it.
Yeah.
With whiskey, you can pour one out and leave it there.
Leave it.
Same with any kind of spirits. with a bottle of wine you got, it's going to go off, so might as well just pan the whole thing. You can't crack open one beer and not drink all 12, do you know what I mean?
Well, like I've said before, I don't drink in my house. I don't like it. I don't have any interest in doing it, even if there's football on or anything. I'm just because I have a smoke, I don't need it. But there's beers in my fridge that are there at Christmas, and I know I'll have to wait until somebody comes like around Paddy's Day. They'll take a beer. They'll never get you. Never get drank like.
It is a thing that's gonna affect the rest of my life. Living by myself and having the odd night where I go, I ain't getting chinned. Fuck it.
That's not good.
No, it is.
It's not.
It's bliss.
That's the problem. That's why it's not good. Oh, it's because you enjoy it so much. You'll do it so often.
I'm saying this now. I don't know if I'll ever be able to let go of it. The idea of settling down and people go, do you not want kids? And I go, do I? Fuck. Do you know what I did last night? A 10 to 10 glass of Jameson and I watched fucking news blippers.
But here's the thing. That's what I was going to ask you. So I
played Call of Duty until I got sick of it, and then I had a wank on my own sofa.
Well, you see, you've just answered
shit with the door open.
You've just answered the question I was going to ask you. But like, my thing is, when I'm drinking, I'm up for the crack, and I'm fucking chatting to everybody and all that sort of shit. I don't know what I would be like at the house drunk by myself. You know what I mean? I would be
after a while. You're like, I'm going to go and see who's up on Facebook. Do you want to FaceTime, lad? And I'll FaceTime any cunt that's still awake.
Right, okay, no, I couldn't deal with that shit. No,
I know there's a point during lockdown where you know yourself. I was FaceTiming every fucking 2 days. I'm steaming again, Connor. Tell me this: is Prince Philip a lizard? I don't know if it's able.
But there is something.
Oh no.
But yeah, there is. I would be fearful of what I would do at home if I was like to get. Obviously, I have kids. Obviously, sleeping and all that. Right? No. I know I'd have music on full blast. I'm a wild man with music when it comes to drinking. I mean, so I would have the music full blast.
That's one thing. I always keep leaving my headphones like different. So I never have headphones.
That's even worse. I couldn't put headphones on because then do you know what's going to happen then? Singing.
Oh yeah, that's now.
I'll have the headphones on. Next thing, you're getting fucking full blast.
My dad has this thing. Now he's 65 in a couple of weeks, and if they get a new TV, my dad doesn't give a fuck about if it's LCD 4K. Doesn't give a fuck how big it is. It needs to have a headphone jack in it because every so often my dad get full, and he'll be like, "Fucking old guy whistle test."
Good man,
and he'll sit with like the wire going across the living room, and you might come down in the middle of the night and you hear, "Oh, it's my shampoo," and he's hammered.
And you can't even buy him a set of Bluetooth ones because
bought him a set of Bluetooth ones, and he can't figure it out. He's like, how does that connect to that TV?
Not only that, there's usually a delay.
Aye.
And it's really fucking annoying when you're watching TV and there's a delay because of the Bluetooth signals.
Now, I'll say this during the lockdown when I was living with my parents. There had a point where I would go, why is he always putting fucking headphones on the TV? This is stupid. And then I put the headphones on the TV and put on that 1,000 musicians, 1,000 bands, 1,000. Have you ever seen that? So they fill a stadium with guitarists, drummers.
Oh, and they do a song together?
Oh, yeah,
I've seen that before.
And fucking Rebel by David Bowie.
Right.
Jesus Christ, the night when you're full with headphones in trying to deafen yourself. You're like, this is fucking phenomenal. Now, also, speaking of headphones and music, I have a theory. Now, you're going to make fun of me for this, right? Because I know what you like. And I know you're a man who likes his music, okay?
Right, yes.
I know you're a man who likes his guitars. You like your bands. You like a lot of music,
yes.
Right? You have a very eclectic
taste
in music.
Just no
right?
dance music. That's not allowed.
I have realised, and I've come to this conclusion, right? I think there's 2 songs that with headphones on cannot be played loud enough.
Right. Okay.
Now,
we'll have to put this to the test, right?
Okay. You're not going to... Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
Jesus Christ.
An Unchained Melody with the Righteous Brothers. You can't play them loud enough with headphones on.
Now, for both, I'll give it to you on regards to vocal performances.
Astounding.
There's some serious notes hit on both tunes. But my fear is you're trying to hit those tunes also.
Oh, no, I was on a bus.
Those notes?
I was on a bus. No, I won't lie to you. I was doing it with my face. And it got me thinking.
Did you get the lip shaking for the Whitney one?
I hit the fucking... See, now, I don't know if... I definitely seen this years ago, right? And I remember laughing so hard, I thought, I actually might die here, right? And it was a stand-up show. And I remember it because, for 2 reasons. One, I remember Frankie Boyle was on it. Right. And Frankie Boyle had a joke about, and this is how long ago it was, about the Prime Minister's wife, Cherie Blair.
Oh, fuck, right.
And he said, Tony Blair has a zigzaggy willy. You can tell, look at Cherie's mouth. Right? And then a girl came on, and all she did was the play it I Will Always Love You, and she pulled funny faces to it. And I remember being like, this is how I go, and I'm all right with it. Like, I'm only 12, and this is my final moment on the planet, and it's a belter, and I cannot find it. And you're trying to Google, like, stand-up show Whitney Houston funny face.
The stuff you must get back in that fucking search request.
Swear to God, man. And to the point where I know a load of comedians in England and stuff that have been going for years, and I didn't want to go, here, you're an old cunt. Do you remember a girl doing this on the circuit? Because it was because you could move both her eyes independently of the other, and
deadly.
like, oh my God, man, when she hits the high note, and she's just
Maybe.
it was brilliant, and I found myself thinking about it and laughing. And going, all the years of me doing stand-up, studying stand-up, and I'm still just like, fucking, she made her eyes go tully.
The snare hit on I Will Always Love You is
useless.
No, it's unreal.
I
think it was fucking really...
I actually found myself, because I listened
I don't know, maybe it's not a snare, it might be a tom, but anyway, the drum hit that thing was fucking unreal.
Because it's the bit when you're on your own, you're waiting for it. But I found myself thinking, this would be fucking funny, like, because I basically listened to it, put it back to start, listen to it again, put it back to start, listen to it again, and the more you listen to it, the more you're waiting for that drum hit, and then I found myself going, it is pointless to have that, and then I was like, I wonder is that the cue Whitney?
Yeah, she's so out of it and cracked. She needs a drum beat to bring her in.
And then I started thinking about her doing it live and going, the guy's going.
Yeah, I do.
Like, my phone was going,
you ever listen to...
you got your headphones too loud, and I'm like, fuck up, phone.
Did you ever listen to the original? Do you like the original? No.
Who did the original again?
Dolly Parton.
Not as good.
Nah,
it's not as good. It's
Whitney Houston does. Is in the realm of one of the very few covers that is better than original.
Yeah,
it's not too often it happens. But
Austin Butler's cover of the guy who played Elvis.
Oh yeah,
the Elvis movie. And actually, I've just realised I'm saying it loud. It's not a cover at all. Okay. It was Elvis. I don't
know. Elvis didn't really write too many of his own music.
Elvis
what was the song?
If I Can Dream.
That's probably not his.
Yeah. Probably isn't his, right? No. But I'd never heard it until that movie.
Oh, had you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And then I went down an Elvis rabbit hole where you go, fuck, he's got some fucking clinkers. Mm-hmm. Do you know what rabbit hole I went down the other day with the music?
What?
You won't judge me again. Lady Gaga has some fucking belters. Have you heard the song she sings for Top Gun Maverick?
No.
Fucking unbelievable.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that one, to be honest with you. I would have a lot of respect. She's a lethal voice.
Absolutely sounding.
Did she write all her own songs?
I don't give a fuck.
Or is it a Beyonce thing where there's a team of writers?
Don't care.
She's talented because she plays piano and all too.
Yeah.
So she's she's a great musician. No, see, this is the thing. I have no problem with musicians. It's manufactured fuckers. Who did I see recently? Lizzo.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how fucking unbelievable she is in the flute.
Yeah.
Like a proper fucking...
How'd you get her to do that? Fuck. You didn't know about that. There's me chatting about the stand. You're getting sucked up by Lizzo.
I wish. No, she's quite the flautist.
I don't say she is. Fucking with her Balenciagis. Balenciagis.
But that genuinely blew my mind. I was like, fuck. So, I mean, like, Juilliard Music Academy level of fucking flute playing. I'm like, okay, she's a fucking
actor. You've been there too. I knew you were in New York. I didn't know you were doing that.
She's a genuine fucking, like, musical genius, you know. So that then you realize, okay, that's not a manufactured. But it's you don't really know any of that sort of stuff unless you follow the person. Aye. So I've never I only know one song of Lizzo, because of Ruby. I do my hair check. Or hair toss, is it? I do my hair toss. Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That's a tune. That is a fucking tune. Fairness. Have I told you I'm going to see Shania Twain in September? And I'm telling you right now, Connor Keys, see when I hear Let's Go Girls, I'm taking my top off. Because Like Shania Twain, I can't wait for that because don't right. Can we tell you something? That woman has brought nothing but joy to the world.
And that woman has brought nothing but one album to the world.
2 albums. And
one album, Mick.
2 albums. And the
name a tune from the second album.
I don't know. I didn't
one
say
album.
I'm a fan. I just know I like. Let's go, girls. Come on ahead. Right? And I also know that even at the age she is now, you'd ride the whole of her.
No. Riding her and listening to her are 2 different things.
Yeah, well, that's how every fucking straight relationship has lasted from time immemorial. Ask Joseph himself. He never even got to ride her.
No, I'd rather ride Mutt.
Mutt?
Mutt Lange.
Who?
Mutt Lange.
That's not a nice thing to call it.
It's her husband.
Guess I'll go with your Mutt Lange there, girl. Get up there and I hit the Mutt Lange.
That's her husband. Mutt.
Her husband's called Mutt Lange.
His nickname was Mutt. I don't remember his first name, but as he knows Mutt. Mutt Lange or Lang. I don't know which one is.
And you'd rather ride him? Why?
Well, he's the one who writes all the songs.
So you'd
book him because he's talented. He wrote Everything I Do it for You, Bryan Adams.
Get away. I thought Bryan Adams wrote that for Princess Diana.
No, he didn't, funny enough. He wrote that for Kevin Costner and Robin Hood. Because Diana didn't die till like 4 years after the song came out.
No, it wasn't about Diana. It was about being
Everything I Do is looking for You.
No. Bryan Adams, sure he stalked her, no?
I know, but no. Again, I need to go and check that. Like, somebody's going, no, it wasn't Mutt Lange wrote that. No. But I'm nearly sure it is. But
I'm going to see Shania Twain and I'm not ashamed of it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to cut up her jeans to hot pants. I'm going to cut the sleeves of denim jacket. I'm going to wear a cowboy hat and I'm going to wear cowboy boots. And people are going to go, are you gay? And I'm going to go for a day. Yes.
It's actually going to fucking stop it.
You do the same yourself. Come here to tell you something.
Robert John Mutt Lange. South African record producer, songwriter.
South African, you can trust them. They're always
known
good.
For his work in
South Africans have never done anything bad.
As well as his previous marriage to Canadian singer Shania Twain.
See, and this is why you can't take away from her, because if he was to sing that, it wouldn't be as good. I'm going out tonight, I'm feeling alright. Going to let the door hang out. Shoot through the door. My wife is a whore. I've got no legs and my feet are gone. The best thing about being paraplegic is being given to faster artificial legs. Diplomatic immunity.
You know what the worst thing is? Ruby she has become fascinated thanks to her carer, Lauren. Lauren, go fuck yourself, you and your music taste. Sorry, Lauren, I'm only joking. I love you.
Lauren watches?
No.
Well, Lauren.
You just stop that now. Yes.
Sorry.
She comes from. She comes from.
I don't even know what Lauren looks like. I just felt like flirting for a wee second.
Comes from a background of poor taste in music like yourself, Mick.
I do not come from a background of poor taste in music. I developed poor taste in music all on my own. I'll have you know. I grew up listening to the hits: Fleetwood Mac, Thin Lizzy, Queen.
You've listed pretty decent bands there. That's all right. That's when you get
Stones.
It's when you get further on.
The Stones. Mm-hmm. Who else was big in The Who? Was big in our house. Jimi Hendrix was big in our house.
Yeah.
And then
what happened to you?
My ma got a new Hoover and a Shania Twain album the same day. Changed me for the better.
Ruby came home one day and that was Man, I Feel Like a Woman was one of the new hits. And I was like, Lauren, I'm telling you now, fucking stop it, because I have to listen to this shit over and over
Bet
again.
you Ruby was dead happy when she was singing it.
All you have to do to Ruby now is go
Fucking yes, Ruby.
Let's go, girls.
I take her with me. Fucking right. Does she say let's go, girls? Does she?
Let's do, girls. It's not even let's go. Let's do, girls. Yeah. So that and then
next time she phones me, that's the first thing I'm doing.
Do it, and then she came home, and the most recent one was a dance remix of "Stop the World and Let Me Off." And Lauren, I'm telling you now,
those dance remixes need a. Now you're probably never had this happen to you. I'm guessing one, you've better taste in music, and not to be weird, but the age gap here. I mean, you've bypassed this, but there was a long time there where I only know this because of my sister, but every young woman in Ireland of a certain age, no matter what religious belief, whatever
denomination they came
from, or geographical location they lived in, every one of them had a CD that at some point would go, DJ Rankin in the mix, motherfucker. And they would have a dance version of Garth Brooks or a dance version of The Fields of Athenry or whatever. And it was all shite.
Yeah.
I
can play, you know. The
Clubland. It was Clubland, wasn't it?
Clubland CDs, that was the ones. Yeah, no.
DJ Rankin in the mix, motherfucker.
I was about at that time, but it's just I have such an aversion to dance music.
Aye. Even Scooter.
any of it.
Even Scooter.
When I was at school.
Even Scooter.
Even Scooter.
Even Scooter.
When I was at
Respect
school.
to the man in the ice cream van.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking think I was a belter lyric.
This is how
How
old we're talking.
At no point did that catch on to you.
There was grungers and there was ravers. That was it. Even though grunge was only one type of music, but it happened to be around mid-90s. You were either a raver or a grunger. And I was
So you didn't fall for Scooter?
Never went. All the rest of the lads were all buying decks, and I was more the guitar end of things. I was in bands.
If you started buying decks, you were a wanker. Like,
aye, that was it. Right, this is now. Where do you hear this for an absolute belter?
Turn up. Turn up.
Can't.
Nope.
Thank you. That's what I have to fucking listen to now on a daily basis. Along with,
I imagine that's what happened if you spike Hugo Duncan.
along with Angelo Kelly. Now, Mick, do you know about Angelo Kelly?
I don't.
Now, where do you hear this?
Angela O'Kelly. Angelo Kelly. Right.
One of the biggest Irish music stars in Europe.
Anything to do with look?
No.
Right.
He's German.
Ah. Da.
But looks like he's from the back end of Mayo.
Uh-huh.
So the genetics are in there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
He tours with his family, like a bunch of fucking travellers.
Uh-huh. Nothing wrong with that.
Uh-huh. And with the wagon, the whole thing, right?
Uh-huh. In Germany? Brave.
Exactly.
Don't know if you know much about what Germany's doing to displaced persons, but fuck me.
So if you ever get the chance, this came about because Ruby has this thing where she'll get an iPad if we allow her to have the iPad because we have a helmet on or something. She'll flick through fucking YouTube nonstop. Doesn't watch anything, just over. But then found Angelo Kelly. I'd never heard of Angelo Kelly before, but apparently Angelo Kelly is a fucking superstar, an Irish superstar,
An Irish-German superstar.
German superstar, right? Who clearly his first language is German. But must have had either Irish parents or Irish grandparents. Mm-hmm. So we'll do all the classics. I'll tell my ma.
I'll tell my man when I get home, the boys won't leave
I swear
the
to God,
Fraulein's alone.
The problem is, right? The problem is you wouldn't know until there's certain wee things. So near Bandage Town in the County Down, right? Things like that. Bandage Town.
What's it supposed to be?
Banbridge.
Oh, aye, that makes sense.
But all these wee small things. But you should see the fucking crowds this cunt's playing to. Like 10, 15, like all Irish fests and all that sort of stuff all over the place.
Come out Jew, black and tans.
But this man is making a fucking fortune.
Because
and nobody
the
here
belongs to lovers.
Fucking stop.
I'm trying to use my limited German to think of what sort of stuff he would sing.
We Shall Overcome is another song. Remember they used to sing it here for the Civil Rights Movement?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. So, and then he's got Galway Girl, he's got all that sort of stuff. But you have to see, so he has a family. Him and his wife, he is, first thing I should point out, he is an ugly bastard.
Aye.
That's why he definitely has our genes. And then he's met this German girl who's lovely. And now they have a tribe of Waynes. There's about 7 Waynes who are all on stage at the same time. So it's Angelo Kelly and family. Go and check them out till you see the fucking madness of it.
Do you know something I was thinking? This is just a wee callback to last night when I was smoking that ganj. Mm-hmm. So I was watching Ali with Will Smith.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you've obviously seen Ali, the Ali movie. And there's a lot of... so Malcolm X is in it. Shows you him getting shot. Shows you Martin Luther King getting shot and stuff like that.
I'm watching a while. Must come back and watch it, yeah.
And I was thinking to myself... I was just sitting thinking, fuck me, imagine that. Just that was wild bad. And it showed you a lot of footage, actual footage of the civil rights marches in America. I thought to myself, geez, do you know that's fucking... When you think of it, like that was going on all over the world in the sort of 60s and 70s. People were marching for civil rights. Then I thought, you know something? Fucking the civil rights movement here was twinned with the civil rights movement in America. They actually sort of endorsed each other and singing the same songs. And then I thought, you know, civil rights, did people get civil rights? I thought, mate, you think about it, like I came from a sort of a working class Catholic background and they were marching for civil rights. And I thought, and you know, like me being from Lurgan, and it's still kind of, you know, become almost a second class citizen in a way because people always make fun of Lurgan. Then you think of the civil rights, you think we shall overcome. And then I thought, you know something, I should be allowed to say the N word. Like, if anybody's allowed to say it.
You actually, I know you're going on a lighthearted end of things there, but
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it. I had I told you before, my family in Indiana, And my cousin came home with 2 young lads with him, 2 friends of his who went to University of Purdue in Indiana. And they wanted
to do Purdue Pharma?
No. They wanted to do a tour of Derry, Stroke London Derry. So I took them around the Bogside and showed them, because I would know the Bogside Museum, the guys who run that, because of my community work. I've brought groups down loads of times. So I thought, right, I'll take them down. And then there was the mural that's up on the wall that has, let me get the 4 of them right. So it's Mother Teresa, John Hume, somebody, the Pope maybe, and Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. And these 2 guys, 2 Americans who, again, plastic patties, their great-granddad was from Ireland or something. They're like, oh my God, why have you got Martin Luther King? And I was like, well, and I explained the whole civil rights thing. And I finished it with, so by right, I have more in common with a black American than I do with you. And they laughed. They're like, and I was like, no, I'm fucking serious. I was like, you don't know what the fuck. They couldn't compute because in their head it's just oppression is black and white.
Aye.
Literally. Yeah. There's no, and I was like, no, you can be oppressed for more things than your skin color. You can be oppressed by your religion. You can be oppressed by your sexuality, whatever. Right. But it blew their fucking mind that we had a picture of Martin Luther King up on the wall. And we're like, no, I genuinely would feel more comfortable going into a black neighborhood than I would in a white in America.
I've often felt
because if I was allowed to have a chat and conversation with them and explain that, because I remember doing it with a high school class in Boston, and they wanted to talk about Travelers. Or they asked me to talk about Travelers, and it blew their fucking mind that there was these white people that were being discriminated against. They couldn't get it. They couldn't figure it out. And I was like, there's more to it than, yeah.
I always have a romantic idea in my head that I'd be walking through like a real tough black neighborhood in America.
Yeah.
And like someone's about to rob me or be like, white people aren't allowed down here. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not white. I'm Irish. Just fancy a scoop. Did you see, now, I don't know if I made this up or dreamt this, did you see that Free Derry Corner has been Braille? Right? No.
Was it you that done a bit of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't stopped thinking about it, right?
Oh, here we go.
So,
strap on the seatbelt.
I'm all about the Free Derry Corner and the messages and all, right? But doing it in Braille, I was like, why? Just tell them you have. Do you know what I mean? The Braille IRA. I was thinking, imagine you're some blind fella in Derry, right? You're walking along, and you get the Free Derry going, oh fuck, what's this? Hey, finally something for me to read. This is lethal.
Taking these from the waterside.
Oh fuck, I'm a Protestant. I'm going to have to get home. Some bastard stole me dog, hey? The fuck am I going to do now? I've been laughing at the phrase. It's like the time I've definitely told this story before. Oh, this is awful. Mm-hmm. I was going with somebody from the village of Pomeroy, yes. Right? And
I know where you're going.
And that young doll from Pomeroy,
he did this in Gailey's one night and fucking destroyed the place.
People weren't happy with me, but she did quite well on The Voice.
Yes.
And the girl I was going out with at the time, when she was coming home, they were having like a victory. It was a blind girl that did well in The Voice from Northern Ireland, and she was coming home, and the girl I was going out with,
semi-blind, I should point out.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought she was full blind, right? So the girl I was going out with phoned me, and she goes, "Mickey, you want to see this to town? It would do your heart good to see it. Everybody's been out. They've all cut their grass. They've all painted their houses. The place is spotless for her coming home." And I went, "Why?" Just hold it down a paint in front of her and tell her you did it.
Bad bastard.
Oh, bad her. Bad her. Nothing good's ever going to happen to me, sir. Nothing good at all.
But yes, anyway, back to the civil rights and Angelo Kelly. That's where the We Shall Overcome. That's where we got to that. That's how that came about.
Right, okay.
Yeah, let's go and see Angelo Kelly's version of We Shall Overcome with his family and all. And I mean,
We Shall Overcome.
We Shall Overcome. Do you know what the weird thing about it was?
Does it come across? Does it come out in that aggressive? You're like, we shall overcome.
Here's the thing: you really don't know that he's German until you see the behind the scenes stuff.
Aye,
because on stage,
he's kicking the fuck out of somebody in the yarmulke.
On stage,
I'll never forgive the Germans.
He sounds like he's from Leitrim. You know, like and he's singing. You're like, oh fuck, fair radio man. I've never heard of him. Then he starts speaking German. You're like, oh, that's why I never heard of him. He's not fucking Irish. But it's the things that Ruby gets me into music wise that I just cannot. Do you know what? Out of all some of the behaviours,
the music's the worst bit.
I think the music's the worst, but I can deal with the shite in the walls. But do you see the shite in my ears? I just can't. Nah.
Maybe you just need to start fucking playing her good music.
Oh, in my car, it's all the time. It's just I can't control what other people. Like, she come home one day, right? She come home from school. I have never in my lifetime listened to a single song from the Dixie Chicks. Any song, right?
You haven't lived, boy.
Ever. I knew who they were. I knew what they
Traveling
did.
Soldier.
So, some
Bring a
middle-aged
tear to a glass eye. Also.
some middle-aged woman looking after Ruby at her school has got her into this, and now I know every line of Traveling. So I could do it from start to finish.
2 days past 18, he was waiting for a bus in his army.
But here's the thing:
Wild
somebody,
That's a protest song for Vietnam.
it is, and somebody recently had it played at their funeral, and I'm going, "You're that's a Vietnam song about a dead soldier,
Aye.
and you want it for your mommy's funeral." Because the song is obviously the melody and all the rest is quite nice, but it's the content of it. You're like, that's not really.
When I die, I want to have something like that. When I do 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 do. The day they start at night, not bad day. Chad run, Chad, break on through to the other side, and then the coffin explodes. My hand comes out like that. He's up again.
Fuck, he's back.
The Doors. That's the Lurgan tribute band to the Doors. Shamie Morrison. Dawn is the end. That's the only 2 Doors songs I know.
Light my fire.
Yeah?
Light my fire.
They wouldn't sing that in Lurgan, fuck the wood.
That's what I mean.
I see the Hannah done over the weekend. Jesus, people thought there was people getting murdered in the streets.
Oh, Jesus.
There was somebody getting murdered in the street, actually. But,
Yeah. We'll move on from that.
yeah, it was a weird one. Twitter went mad.
Oh.
Me stuck in Edinburgh. Couldn't even get my katana.
Oh, jeez. See, that's what happens.
No.
They knew the defender was away.
That's the thing, man. I leave the house for
You leave it one
one
day,
weekend,
boys,
and all of a sudden
place
it falls
goes to
apart.
fuck.
That's one thing I've realised recently is I will look out my window for trouble on the street.
Yes.
Much like Batman. But unlike Batman, I don't do anything about it. I just go, that's shocking. Close my house coat. Shit.
Hold on to your parents and all.
Them 2 girls beating the fuck out of him. Oh, look, he's getting up, look. You his father.
That's a fucking. Do you hear the helicopter coming in now to take you away? That's what that is.
I thought that weed was still working on me from last night.
That's somebody.
Did somebody open the gates of hell? That sounds like the screaming souls of 1,000 damned people.
They're away now.
Aye,
They heard you
shut
sing.
the door again. That's the noise it makes when you open that weed doofer in Ghostbusters. That was fucking.
Don't cross the street.
That was absolutely somebody taking fucking Patrick Swayze's killer from Ghost. That in their 4 plastic bags and just come up here. Remember that movie?
Oh, aye.
Like, for as cute as a movie that is. And back to the fucking Regis Brothers.
Yeah.
That bit where they take the fucking people to hell.
Quite
Scare the
scary.
fuck out of you.
I remember it scared me when I was younger. Like, yeah.
This is the noise I was making last time trying to get off the sofa.
So yes, yeah. So the suffering I go through of the musical taste.
You just need to broaden your horizons, man. Do you know what I mean? I think.
No.
Yeah,
See, this all came about from you talking about Shania Twain. Now, Shania Twain is also responsible for quite a lot because it was
Don't
the
impress
first.
me much.
Well, it was the first song.
So you've got a car.
No,
Don't impress me much.
what do you call it? What do you call the big love song? You're still the one.
Another fucking belter.
So me and my wife, when we first met, and we first footered on the dance floor,
Oh, why?
that's what was playing in the background.
When the first time you fingered Emer?
First time I've kissed her.
All right.
She walked up to me with a pint of blackcurrant cider in her hand and says, "Can I have a light?" Those are good old days. You smoke in the place, and I was like, "I do have a light here." And then by the time Shania kicked in, boys, we were away. And
What was your line? Did you have a line to get her to kiss you?
No,
fancy a
didn't
cure?
have to. I was just like,
Was she like, I'm going to get that man there?
click,
Oh,
nice and slow, just looked her in the eye as she lit it the whole time, boy. And Shania hadn't got to the third chord, boys. And
You were up against the DJ box.
Went. Aye.
take that there.
And by the
Didn't even
time
spill her cider. What a woman.
she had that don't impress me much come out, we were going steady. You know, so
Remember the first
in
time
the space of a couple of weeks.
First time I touched a ditty was Aqua, Dr. Jones.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, excellent. So it was fast
And
movement too.
subliminally, I started squeezing the ditty in the
speed.
Joan, calling Dr. Joan, Dr. Joan, Dr. Joan, Baker. Oh, wake up now! Remember that? The Dead Eye.
That Shania.
And Joe, the first time the first time I touched a ditty, the girl, I was courting this girl in Zodiac's nightclub Lurgan, and I sort of like hit her ditty on the outside of her top, and she went, "Should go on in." Literally said the word "should go on in," and then did that word with her jumper. Let my hand off it.
What is going on in Lurgan? Why did I not grow up in fucking
Wild
Lurgan?
big set of milkers on her too.
Oh, deadly, boys. Deadly.
And also only 15.
Oh,
Jesus, but she was full
wasted on you, Mick.
She was full developed.
They were wasted on
15.
you. Wasted on you.
I started growing my own then to compete. He says, I'd love a pair of them for the house, you know.
Well, I'd had a pair for a long time, you see, so I knew the benefits. I'm
growing them all out of my neck now.
So yeah, Shania was responsible for me and my beloved together. So.
Well,
then you ask,
come to the gig
that's
with
the
me.
joy. Emer has no, I don't know how we ever fucking, well, I do know how we got together. She got a light off me. But she has no interest in music. So I'd say to her, do you know the first song was playing? No. I was like, oh, I see. No. Okay, thanks. I'm the romantic one in fucking this case. But yeah.
It's hard to hear when you have two thighs wrapped around your ears, you know? Don't know what.
No, but that stage, but that stage we weren't on Sally's anymore.
Many dates did you and Emer have before you plunged the plunge?
Here's the problem,
check the oil?
I've explained the whole scenario. Sure, didn't I have to leave her because she wasn't doing it?
Wouldn't do anything at all?
Aye. So I left her and found one who would.
So I don't know a second here. Are you okay to talk about this in the podcast?
I talked about it in the live one, so I think we're all right. You got me drunk and I spilled all. So there was
not even a digit?
No.
How long for?
Longer than I wanted.
Connor, 2 weeks.
Way longer than I wanted. Maybe a year.
This is a
and then that's a thought.
I remember going out with a girl when I was younger, and we had went out for a long, long time before, and I was grand with it. I was fair enough. Take your time, daughter, right? And I remember the first time that I received anything from this girl.
Oh, I've yet to have that now.
We'd sort of built our way up gently. To we foot her here, we foot her there, whatever, blah 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 blah. And I remember saying, "Would you be up for?"
What did you say it?
I says, "Would you be up?"
See, I'm not that.
The thing was, I says, "Would you be up for giving me a blowjob?"
Oh, all right. Oh, you asked for that.
And she goes, "Absolutely." And I remember going,
"Fucking Lurgan, boys."
I remember going, "I don't know you at all. We've been going with each other about a year." And I hadn't the balls. And when I said, she was like, "Absolutely." And every drop of it.
See, you see.
Spill of the dip.
Lurgan,
I'm telling you.
Why was I not
telling
Lurgan back in them days? So no. Do you know, and that's the thing, this is the sad thing that don't, just because you're going to get yourself in trouble.
I remember one time.
Oh no.
This is 17, 18 years of age, right? Going with a girl for a while, we were going with each other, right? You know, we could legally vote, we could legally ride, right? And there was one night we were talking, she was like, would you do you want to get that comfortability in a relationship where someone would like a wee blowjob? And you go, I fucking love one. Right?
Like it's a cup of tea.
Aye. Would you like a wee blowjob? She goes, I says, listen.
No sugar, please.
I was doing the sort of, where would you like me to put this?
Yes.
Right? And she was like, when? She goes to me, when was the last time you had a wank? And I went this morning, I went to Isle of Grand. And I don't know what happened to me, right? But have you ever been told off by somebody who's trying to swallow jizz at the same time? She went, "Fucking Mickey!" It was like, do you know when you see the videos of somebody trying to take a champagne cork off one night?
Do you know what was scaring me the most about that? It's going, how do you know? Like when you're dealing with a woman going, you know enough. Know enough to know.
Oh no, we had very open conversations. Like,
aye, but I mean,
do you know what I mean? Like,
you're saying 17 or 18.
I knew all about period farts.
Yes, but 17 or 18, the fact that she knew.
I would have told her.
I'm lost here now.
If you've a wank in the morning, you like that's your big load for the day.
Oh, that was from you. I thought she had known that from.
Oh no, this is from me.
Life experiences.
No, this is from me.
We're finally woman going. When do you wank?
We were both very sort of like. So, so I learned an awful lot about.
Well, we were the same. I was quite lucky in the sense that me and her started going out when I was like 16, 17. So she would have come down to the estate I lived in, And all of us, like there's 16 fellas all standing around chatting about fucking porn and all that sort of stuff. And then like it would get close to about 10 to 12 at night and everybody would go, right lads, way on here.
Aye.
Fantasy Channel, 10 minutes free view.
Absolutely.
It blew her mind. She didn't know this existed. So then she went in the next day she was doing hair at the Tech, and the girls in her class, she was like, did you know the boys go in and watch the 10 minutes free view? So then this became, so I started off with her where she was like, oh, there's a 10-minute free view. Do you know now you've got women are like, porn's just, you shouldn't be touching, it's disgusting and all the rest. It was nearly the hours going, oh, fucking, there he goes again. And but it was because it had become in the group where all of them were going, I do it too. I fucking love it. You know what I mean? It was like, there was no dirtiness to it then.
The first time when you were allowed to admit you wanked in school? Because there was always that kind of like, oh, I bet you do, don't you? Like,
I was the I bet you do, don't you?
Because you'd already been wanking.
Because not
and
only
you're trying to double check that it's not wrong. Because never forget, we grew up in Catholic. I don't know about you. Because I went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
And I believed that stuff for so long.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I came being like, this is it, waiting for lightning.
Right, okay. No,
I didn't realise the lightning was coming out of me.
I grew up in Hunters Crescent, so I grew up with boys who were very sexually active when I was maybe 12.
Aye.
And would tell you stuff. And on purpose tell you wrong things too.
Aye.
Which is not a good thing.
You know something? I remember, right? Now, I was at university. Mm-hmm. I was 18 or 19 years of age, right? And everybody was all sitting, fellas and girls and gays and straights and blacks and whites and Jews and everybody. Right? One fellow was schizophrenia and me. We're all sitting around drinking, because everybody was going through this. I know your daughter's just gone to university, so I'm sorry to break the news to you, but it's kind of, there's like a sexual renaissance happens. Yeah. It happened in my day back in, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody, first time you got your own room.
Yeah.
Everybody just go with each other, right? We're talking about sex and stuff like that. And one girl told all of us, and I knew it wasn't true, right? And she said, big willies don't matter, but if a woman goes with a fellow with a big cock, her fanny takes the shape of his cock and it's that big forever. And I remember being like, I know
like it's a plaster Paris cast.
I remember being like, I know that isn't true, but I don't. And then having like Dick Envy.
Yeah.
Who was a lecturer.
Short and thin goes too far in, short and thick. Or no, it's long and thin goes too far in, short and thick does the trick.
Is that true?
Well, that's what that doll told
us. That's the end of the podcast now. Thanks for coming.
I think she was just telling me that to keep me happy at that time. Was it?
She's talking about willies or just men
I don't
in
know,
general?
in general. Just stick one in there just to see what happens.
I just like a wee fucking short, thick fella.
Toby, Merriman.
How you doing? I'm not very smart. No, you go on your night, Pep. I'll stay here.
No, so that was, yeah.
Short and thin goes too far in, short and thick does the trick.
Long and thin goes too far in, short and thick does the trick.
Interesting. What about big and fat?
That's what she called me.
Big and fat, that's where it's at. Rose are red, village the blue. I'm schizophrenic, so am I.
Oh, Lord. So anyway, that's Shania Twain in September. That's good. Fair play.
Can't wait. Don't look crazy. I'm really genuinely thinking about how traumatized I was with that girl telling me fanny's never the same.
That would do it. That would scare anyone. You'd never go down there again. In case you get lost.
You flashback of it now. And then I did go up with a girl at one point in university who genuinely did have a big internal vagina.
Right.
We called it the TARDIS. We weren't very good men. Very toxic. Looking back on it, it's very toxic. Tiny wee petite thing. And I remember putting my finger in that and going, I haven't even hit the edge of this bad boy here.
Oh, Jesus.
There's another fella shook my hand.
Getting fist bumps from her fucking intestine.
Swear to God.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus was terrible.
Back in the good days when you could objectify women.
We're going down there and it licked me back. Size of it.
Sir.
We called her the TARDIS, you see, because she was wee on the outside and big on the inside. That's why we called her that.
Right.
Anybody doesn't watch Doctor Who.
I don't know what to get. I thought you lost time in there.
No.
All right.
No. That's, no, I lost a watch eye. But thankfully there's 3 or 4 more landing about. I just took a different one.
There was a pocket watch hanging out from his
like a
chain.
second-hand shop. It was like a St. Vincent de Paul. Fuckers a pair of Caterpillar boots. I'd take them with me. Had to take the skeleton out of it and it was dead on.
St. Vincent de Gooch.
I'm telling you.
No, that's
scary.
That's not. No,
I
yeah,
remember.
I can't think.
See, when I think back on it, I genuinely, when you think back on it, you go, Jesus fucking Christ, that really what like you were so naive.
Yeah.
If apart from the fact that I was only 18, right? If I think it was a fuck of something, if I did something like that now, you'd volunteer to go to jail, right? And I can remember seeing this doll. And there was one of my mates in our flat he was very much the alpha, right? So the flat I was in, there was me, two of my mates from school,
yeah,
and we were very much nerds, right? I had my wee highlights and my braces, right?
Lovely.
One of the fellas had just got his braces off. He had to have his jaw wired like that for 2 years,
right?
Because he had a real bad overbite. They got the braces off. Looked like James Blunt. Everybody wanted to book him, right?
Right.
The third fella, very very timid, didn't really like talking to women that much. Wild big cock on him. So rumours got around, right?
Okay, yes.
The wee one with the braces will lick it. James Blunt's good crack. Massive piece, right? But we were all too nervous to talk to women, right? Then there was another fella who was great at pulling for some reason, but did it under the cover of darkness. One other fella who, same thing, women just found him insanely attractive. And then there was the alpha, who could go, you, me, my room now, and girls go, yes, daddy. Right? Big giant dick, had it pierced. I've talked about him before, right?
Yes,
And I was seeing this girl, and I think the first time we'd done the no pants dance. She was like, here, come to my room a wee second in my flat. And she was in my class. She goes, I need a something, I don't know,
some excuse,
a book or whatever it was, right? And I opened the door, and there was this 18-year-old young woman in lingerie, right? And she threw me on the bed, like rid me, like she had an itchy back, just right, and then just sent me on my way, right? And I landed back in our flat, my hair all up like that. Fucking braces hanging off. Like, and I remember maybe Paddy, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, I'm sorry. Oh, of course, I just get a book. I didn't even have a book. I fucking. And he was like, sit down, Miguel, put the kettle on. What happened to you? They put a blanket around me. What happened to you? I said, I was even thinking, I don't know what I was. That's right. And then I get chatting to them because we're although it seems talking on the outside, we're all very good at talking to each other and fucking opening up, right? And I was like, man, I don't know. I want to really fucking do a good job here. Because the only other girl I'd ever had sex with at this point we'd lost our virginity together.
Right, okay.
So I was like, I want to fucking really give it a good job. And he goes, Mick, I'm telling you now, every woman in the world loves a finger up the ass. I'm fucking telling you.
Jesus
right?
Christ.
And I was like, seriously? He's like, I'm fucking telling you.
Oh,
right?
no.
Every woman, if they're having sex, finger up the ass. I'm fucking telling you. And I'm like, promise? He's like, I wouldn't lie to you, mate. I wouldn't lie to you. Right? So cut to 3 or 4 days later.
Oh no!
And something else had happened. I had made sure I had a couple of beers every night because I realized if I had a couple of drinks, I would last longer. Right?
Oh,
Would deaden it a wee bit. So I was nervous about not lasting long enough. Right? So every night I'd have a couple of beers, and the one night I didn't drink, she was like, "Well, we hear you." Right?
Oh, of course.
I didn't realize she didn't want to have sex with me when I was drunk because she thought she was taking advantage. This is how naive and immature I was.
Right? Okay.
So there we were. We're in a room.
We're
making the love.
Yes.
Right? I'm changing positions every 2 seconds to try and stop myself from busting nuts. Right? And then we have ourselves in the situation where, what's the polite way to say this? I'm hanging out the back of her. And I'm just trying to take my mind off it.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, what's a
There's a bit of mould up there.
lovely Reservoir Dogs poster. Right? And I hear my mate's voice. Bum said, put a finger in the bum. Put a finger in the bum.
Go to Mr. Brown.
Finger in the bum. Right? And I looked down, and do you know whenever you're in the dog's head position, you look down and you go, there's there. Right? And I literally, this is the motion I made. And I'm sorry about this for anybody that thought I was only 18. I remember going, right? And she kicked me like a donkey would. Right?
Yeah.
And I think in her head she thought I'll boot him in the chest and he'll fly back. Didn't. I winced, my finger bent, and I came. So now I have to get surgically removed from this woman.
like a reservoir dog.
It was like I'm on a baseball game.
Get the fire lock. We're going to get these two separated.
I never forgave him for it. I was like, she kicked me in the chest like, you should do that. Wanker.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
We're still in touch to this day.
No, that's good. That's good. That's
Sorry
good.
about that. And I didn't get it in fairness. I just kind of like, it was like hitting a fucking ejector seat.
Just a wee.
I just touched the boop and then just
That's
get
enough,
the fuck
yeah,
out of that. Yeah, skip the.
You touched the red button.
That's
Right
it. Bust my nut, but it wasn't out of enjoyment. It was out of fear.
Okay, so
We lowered the tone there quite a bit.
lowered it. Fuck me. This started with Shania Twain.
Yeah. She wasn't impressed now.
No,
Tell you that
definitely
much.
not. Aye.
And I sure felt like a woman after the chastising I got afterwards. Don't you ever do. I wish I hadn't told you that now.
Aye.
Well, maybe I'll put this one out.
So for any Shania fans out there, I'm just saying, I'm so sorry that you.
Why are you man? Don't apologise to Shania Twain fans. You know why? They're the happiest people in the world.
Dopiest, did you say, or happiest?
Happiest?
Or happiest. Yeah.
Of course, how you are a robot if you don't get a wee bit excited when you hear Let's go, girls. I'm telling if it came on in a nightclub, I'd lose my mind.
Holy sweet fuck.
I don't know how to dance to it right enough. I'll have to practice that in the house. But
No, the only thing I loved about that is the Robert Palmer fucking homage.
I also like the leopard print sort of
No.
scarf boob tube thing she had going on.
Didn't know what. I wouldn't know how to get it off
I do.
because I don't know how she got it off.
With my teeth.
No.
Nom.
Give me the Robert Palmer girls with the white shirts. No, I want them. Yeah.
Shania's a legend.
Don't get me wrong. Now she sold well. That album was everywhere and everything, but that's it.
Well, why would you do another one when you've released a classic? She's got a new song out at the
Well,
minute.
that came out 25 years later and then go and fucking milk people's money for just to hear a fucking song that she can't sing anymore because
Let's
she's
be
too
honest,
old.
Fleetwood Mac only really had rumours and sure they're still going.
Fuck up, Fleetwood Mac only had rumours. Jesus Christ almighty.
The rest of the albums aren't that good. Like,
Stop it.
I'm just saying. You know yourself. Let's be honest, boys. Do you know what I mean? What do you call your woman get hit by a speedboat?
Kirsten McCall.
Aye, one song. Still talking about that.
No one song.
With that toothless fucker.
You know more than just... Kirsten McCall sang more than just that.
Aye, but I mean, who really gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean?
You know there's a man down chip shops that swears he's Elvis?
What?
There's a man down the chip shop swears he's Elvis.
That's by the by, Connor. We're talking about Kirsten McCauley.
But he's a liar and I'm not sure about you.
Right. That's the
wild
most,
tune.
That's such a fucking Irish thing to do, is to say the words of a song in a threatening tone. Because you said that last bit as if you're going to kneecap me. He's learned, I'm not sure about you. All right, sassy bitch.
Yeah, what's the album? She did a great cover of Billy Bragg's.
Oh, a cover. So again, you're bitching about covers.
Well, she made it famous in that sense.
The only thing anybody gives a fuck about is the one with the Pogues. And
No. Well, I suppose maybe. But
do
the
you know what I mean?
man...
Chrissy Dignam, God rest him, nearly. Aslan, it's 30 years
Crazy
old before you
word,
get the one
aye.
song you will see them again. So don't bring that shit to me about Shania Twain's classic album.
We'll see.
It's going to be amazing. How long we talk for about Shania Twain?
If she lip syncs it now, you know, it could be...
She's not
there's
lip-syncing.
There's a good possibility.
She's not.
Well, I could guarantee it's not going to be sang in the key that was originally recorded.
Who cares? We'll sing it for her.
Oh.
Listen, thanks very much for listening to the podcast. If you enjoy it, tell your friends about it. If you want to join Patreon to get exclusive content like specials and questions and just rabbiting on and quizzes and all that shit, do it. And if you don't want any of that stuff, well, go fuck yourself. Keep your fiver. We don't need it. We do need it. Please
It's not
join
even
our
a fiver, it's
Patreon.
£4.
£4. Join our Patreon. Look after yourselves. Wash your hands. Don't yell snow. Cheerio.